And on that count, as a member of PAS, saya bertanggungjawab untuk menyatakan 11 13 Mei, saudara-saudara, tempat-tempat yang dikerajai oleh PAS, 13 May incident never ever occurred in those places. I'm telling you, the turmoil that happened in the Klang Valley on the very 13th of May only happened in those areas which are not dominated by PAS. Thank you very much. He's a confirmed Pakatan Rakyat supporter. Saya nak menyatakan, di bumi Kelantan, where PAS was dominant at that time, there was no element of 13 May. Likewise, in some areas in Selangor, where there's certain areas in Sabah Fernando, PAS heavily dominating that area, tak ada elemen 13 Mei. And that is what PAS has to offer. We are offering the things that have been denied to all the Malaysians. We have been living under threats of UMNO. Our message has not been well circulated because we have been pressed down by UMNO. Sehingga kan saudara-saudara tidak tahu dan tidak pernah tahu apa yang diperjuangkan oleh PAS. Tapi alhamdulillah hari ini kita boleh bersama-sama, saudara-saudara. What difference do you see now between Brother Lingkip Siang, between Brother Khalid Samad, between Dr. Azmi, between Tunku, between NSC Siang dan juga Raghunathan and me? What difference does it make? For the very first time when I took office, 3 months after I took office, the chief of PAS from Sarawak came. And I had lunch with him in one of the prestigious hotels in Ipoh. And I introduced myself. And he got astonished. He said, why? And I gave my card to him. Chief Minister was looking at me up and bottom, up and down. I said, why? Well, he said that I felt guilty. Because prior to leaving Kuching, I had a tussle with YB Datuk Nia Kuham. And I was saying to the Datuk Nia Kuham that I don't believe that you can accept PAS leadership as your Chief Minister. Datuk Nia Kuham said, please invite to come Ipoh and see and have word with him. And he was astonished and surprised like a buruk, you know. And what I said? He said, forgive me. For the last many years, I was giving the bad impression of what PAS was and what PAS is until I meet you now. And he invited me. Dia kata, yang berhormat, would you kindly come to, I invite you to Kuching, Sarawak, and see for yourselves, so that at least they have got a change in mind, perception and paradigm what they have on PAS. Saudara-saudara, apa yang dinafikan oleh UMNO selama 50 tahun, apa yang dibuat oleh PAS, we are now surfacing to tell you what we are doing with all our Pakatan brothers and sisters. We are trying to get our inch out so that we can be surfaced, so that you can see what we do. Had for the last 10.5 months, leading Pakatan Rakyat in Perak, had at that moment I used any elements. I was employing any elements that was based on racial tones, that was based on Malay, Kemelayuan, Bangsa Melayu. I thought that I wouldn't have survived more than 2 days, 2 months or 2 weeks. But because we agreed to leave some of our differences aside, and we agreed to have all our strength and our common things to be together to manage Perak. Saya nak beritahu, kalaulah dalam 10 bulan setengah itu saya menggunakan perkaman saya sebagai seorang Melayu, sudah tentu kami tidak akan bertahan lama di negeri Perak, tuan-tuan. Bukan hanya 2 bulan, 2 minggu pun dah tentu. Tapi oleh kerana kami mengepikan dan kami menggunakan segala-gala prinsipal yang diterima oleh manusia sejagat, maka itu yang menyebabkan hayat kami panjang dan panjang dan panjang, dan insyaAllah akan panjang lagi. Kami boleh bersetuju. Can you imagine that 31 of us, less 3 becomes 28. On the 3rd of March, we agreed to assemble underneath the Unity 3, Democracy 3. For the first time in the history of mankind. For the first time in the history of the world, history of mankind, we were able to assemble together 28 of us in one unified democratic tree. And it is still now underneath. And I was told by many law practitioners who are specialized in the constitutional law, they were saying that it's not only that your meeting under the tree is legal, even if you have the meeting on top of the tree, it's more legal. Sehingga hari ini, one of the prayers by Zamri to nullify the assembly under the tree has not been answered by the federal court. Ini menunjukkan 28 kami bercantum di bawah pokok demokrasi masih sah dan masih legal. Sebagai kesimpulannya, saya menyatakan bahawa enough is enough. The last 40 years that we have allowed ourselves to be induced and influenced by UMNO, by whatever machineries of UMNO, media of UMNO, we are saying enough is enough, no more. That's it. We are going to say that what happens in Bukit Gantang is going to have the repercussions in the next general election. And certainly, the first general election will be the snap election in Perak. Okay! Kami saudara-saudara, apabila kami bergelut dalam Dewan Undangan Negeri 7 hari bulan Mei, kami bergelut saudara-saudara bukan dengan wakil rakyat UMNO Nasional. Kami bergelut dengan polis-polis UMNO saudara-saudara. Can you imagine? We were trying to protect our Indian brother who is the first speaker, Indian speaker of the Malaysia. My DAP assemblyman, my Keadilan assemblyman, my past assemblyman, we were together clinging ourselves to protect our speaker, our beloved speaker. He sat there, saudara-saudara, from 9:30 until 6 hours when he was forced outside by the instructions of UMNO. Maka itu saudara, so you can see the ugly face of 13 Mei that is still being believed deeply by UMNO Nasional. Saudara-saudara, their days are numbered. UMNO days and PN days are numbered. Jadi itu saya terima kasih kepada saudara-saudara. Bahawa pilihan raya seluruh Dewan Undangan Negeri yang dibubarkan insya-Allah saudara-saudara, there is no other remedial action except to dissolve the assembly in Perak. Apa yang berlaku, tulisan daripada NH Chan menunjukkan lebih lama impas Perak ini, lebih dahsyat suasananya dan lebih teruk UMNO. UMNO is just like a person who has gotten a fishbone in his throat. Dia cekik tulang saudara-saudara, nak telan tak boleh, nak kumpah ke tak boleh. Ini UMNO. They cannot go forward, they cannot go backwards now. Jadi untuk itu, we are saying goodbye to them sebagaimana kita katakan dekat Bukit Gantang, and definitely insyaAllah kita akan menanti kejatuhan UMNO di penanti. Setuju? Kita akan menunggu soalan-soalan bersama. Saya terima kasih di atasnya. InsyaAllah pilihan raya akan datang. The new landscape, political social landscape, social fabric of Malaysia is going to be no racism, no separatism, no discrimination, except to regard every Malaysian as equal in everything. Saudara-saudara, itulah hadiah kami. Saya sudah hidup dengan Taufik Hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nandri, sia-sia, makal sakit.